Hi, welcome to Teach Lab with Mr. Simons. In this video, I want to share something that I'm trying to work with students to understand to help their short response answers. And the key part is to try and clarify the misconception among so many students that I have taught and encountered that you lose marks, right? That a student will come up to you, they get 3 out of 5 for a short response question, and they're saying, but where did I lose the marks? And for me, this shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how teachers go about the marking process, because from my perspective, I'm always looking for ways to award marks. I never go into marking a student response and say, okay, I'm looking to remove marks because of what they said here. What I'm trying to do is award marks based on the quality of each sentence, idea, concept, evidence, and so on that is included in the response. When I'm thinking about it and when I'm trying to communicate it with students, I'm saying that you start with 0. You don't start with 5 and I take things away from you. If the question is out of 5, you start with 0 and you need to give me reasons to go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 and so on if you are chasing those full marks. In some ways, I'm trying to communicate to students that answering a short answer question is like building a house. You start with nothing, just the green field, and you need to create the foundation, you need to add the layers, the levels, the stories to create a Lego house. For students, it's then trying to get them to see that every sentence, idea, concept, bit of evidence has to be going to creating that house and not waffle or superfluous information that isn't going to be rewarded by a marker. So think about the kind of comments, I've got some of these written down because they come up a lot, that if you've got a student that talks about government policy can be affected in many ways, full stop. It's really not adding anything. It's not a solid foundation. It's not something that is furthering the discussion and so wouldn't be rewarded. Likewise, if there's something like there are many positive and negative factors that have to be considered in the case of blah, 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 just insert what's relevant to your subject. Again, not a real reason to award marks here. Not really setting up an extra layer on top of the foundation to work towards those marks. And I also try and share things from like a debating perspective, that you've got an adjudicator in the audience listening to the speaker, and that they don't remove marks as the speaker is presenting their arguments. What they do is they will reward different arguments if they are furthering the discussion. If there is something that comes up that doesn't quite click, that's irrelevant or not fully explained, the adjudicator will just ignore it and pretend it wasn't said. So that this is the kind of thinking that I think is useful to encourage among students when they're answering short response questions, so 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 marks, that every sentence, idea, concept, bit of evidence has to be going to further the discussion and not to have waffle or extraneous points there. Every bit of information needs to be out there to try and gain marks. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful. This is something that I encounter on an ongoing basis, so my work here is very much a work in progress, and that's really why this channel is called the Teach Lab, because we are trying different things, seeing what sticks, and varying our approach along the way, knowing that the work isn't ever really finished. We just get a little bit better, or we just change things as might be needed. So if you've got any questions or comments, maybe you experienced this same thing in the classroom, please put it in the classroom. Please put it in the comments. Why would you put it in the classroom? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.